Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's up, everybody? We're going to everybody's house, knocking on doors, hoping you open the door. It's the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy, and you see on the other side of me with the one and only VK Jones. At 7:30, we have the one and only Louisiana sports columnist who's going into the LHSAA Hall of Fame, Glenn Guilbeau, to talk with us about LSU baseball, going into the Hall of Fame. And the book he wrote, Everything Matters in Baseball. It's a book about Skip Bertman. But let's hop right into it. VK, those LSU Tigers won their eighth national championship, knocking on people's doors and doing what they gotta do. You know what I mean, VK Jones? What you thought about LSU winning their eighth national championship, VK Jones?
Oh man, like you said, we're everybody's knocking on doors. We're knocking on doors, but LSU, man, amazing stuff, man. What they did was unbelievable. I mean, Friday with Cade Anderson, Saturday with Cade Anderson with the tremendous game he had and everything. Sunday, it was, it got interesting, but you credit the pitching of LSU, you credit the defense, Braswell, of the plays he made from Saturday on. And to me, I think he was like the defensive MVP. Jared Jones, offensive MVP. But then you got a whole bunch of other players stepped up as well. It was a total team effort for the LSU Tigers to win their eighth national title. And it things kind of really changed early when Coastal Carolina's manager got kicked out the ball game. Him and the assistant got ejected. So that really kind of changed things. But Coastal Carolina stayed in it. But LSU some way somehow made the plays at the end to put it away. Big ups to the Tigers and also to Jay Johnson. I think Jay Johnson has really, really, really solidified himself as LSU's head coach, and I don't think he's going anywhere, man. I think he has really established himself here in Baton Rouge and everything else, man. So, we've been hearing him talk before, and he always, even off air, he always say he admires the Louisiana culture and everything. And the way it's going, it's been amazing with the coach. He's been just so delighted.
Well, VK froze for a second. I promise you he'll be back. But let me see. Told you he's back. Just like that. Welcome back, VK Jones. Welcome back.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I was saying that, it's really a joy for Jay Johnson to be settled here, but not just that, for him to really continue what LSU has done for a long, long time. And, they're the number two all time, you know, they're the number two all time program, you know what I'm saying? And it's amazing what they have done over the years. So for them, it's big for the city of Baton Rouge. It's big for Louisiana. It just shows Louisiana baseball is here to stay, man. To the LSU system, man. I mean, Shreveport, now Baton Rouge, champions, man. It's
Two
big.
championships in the state. Look, LSU defense was phenomenal. You cannot say anything bad about their defense. Pitching was phenomenal. Cade Anderson, Anthony Ianson, what they have done as starting pitchers and what they did in the championship series was phenomenal. Shores coming in and relieving in the championship game of game two, phenomenal. It didn't even get to Evans. These are four pitchers that's probably gonna get drafted with Ianson and Cade probably being first round draft picks, man. The pitching was phenomenal. I always say when it comes to college baseball, you can have one ace and another pitcher that's not an ace but good. LSU had two aces this year, and which to me was just a tone setter for their team moving forward. You didn't have all the gorilla bats, but when LSU bats woke up at certain points throughout the season, they were on fire. They were on fire. You saw it in the College World Series. You saw it in the championship game of Game 2, scoring 5 runs. When those bats woke up for LSU, man, a lot of teams were in trouble, VK.
When it came time, when it was time to make a play, when it was time to get the key hit, and LSU did it. They really did it. And I know George Pepper was a little critical in the regional about the certain batting lineups after the fourth guy, but at the same time, I don't know what he said, but he motivated LSU, and everybody from the 5 hole on down came up with some key hits.
And VK froze again. I promise he'd be right back. But that LSU team, to win it, they weren't like the team from 2 years ago. That team was phenomenal. But this team was able to find ways to win throughout the season, which just made them great as well, VK.
Yes, very much so. And you look at it from a perspective like this. Coastal Carolina, I mean, a great team. I
Yes.
mean, they really had to, step it up and take them down more than anything else. And don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised from what? Come on, VK. Come on. You got to get home, bro. You got to get home, VK.
My man,
He home. He took the seatbelt off. He's home. He's home, y'all.
I am home. I'm just trying to make sure my internet is all to the good. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we go in and out. But like I said, I think Coastal Carolina will be back. They're very young. They're going to return a lot of folks next year, including the top 2 pitchers are going to be returning. So they're going to be really good for a while. You know, but to get it done in the manner that they did, it's just consistency for LSU and Jay Johnson. If Jay Johnson knows how to recruit, he knows how to hit that transfer portal. It's gonna be crazy, man, what they do in the off season. But it's just great consistency, and it continues, man. You get starts from Skip Bertman. Went to you had a couple of lean years, but then all of a sudden, here is let me think, the head coach that won the national championship right after Skip Bertman. That was
Maneri?
I'm getting old. Paul Maneri comes in, maintains the program, gets them to a couple College World Series trips. They won a national title, and he leaves. And then here comes Jay Johnson. The consistency that he is bringing to this program, it really reminds you a bit about the Skip Bertman days, a bit, except for the gorilla ball kind of thing. But still, this is a team that thrives on pitching and thrives on making plays. And that's what a good baseball team does more than anything else. But at the same time, you look at the field, and I said it myself on the show, the field was opening up for LSU to have a chance to win it all
Mm-hmm.
because the top teams was falling left and right. And I'm like, man, this might be opening up for LSU to win the whole thing. And I'm not gonna lie, they better thank their lucky stars for the
Oh
Arkansas
no,
game.
man. They were the best
The
team there,
Arkansas game.
man. They were the best team
No,
there.
no, 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 I didn't say it wasn't the best team.
You saying they gotta count their
I'm
lucky stars
saying
like they lucky this team or that
because
team wasn't in it.
no, did not. I'm not throwing shade. I'm saying the way that Arkansas game went. You know, if they make the plays, we got a rematch the next day.
Okay.
And it's
Agree with
almost
that.
like Arkansas. It's like Arkansas kind of really gave it away, you can say. But at the same time, it was like, wow, very unfortunate because they could have made a huge play with the double play and they didn't. And then Jared Jones, the ball just getting by the shortstop off his glove.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, sometimes good teams will have good breaks. And that's what happens.
Or is Arkansas just cursed in Omaha,
Yeah,
Nebraska?
they're the most cursed team in college baseball because you got to look at the past trips for
The
Arkansas.
game two title game against Oregon State, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, and you up, and you won game one, and then three guys in one area, and nobody catch the power fly to win the championship, and then that's it. You lost, and you lost the game three.
Then on top of that, other trips in the past to Omaha, always something bad happens to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Something always bad happens. So eventually, will they win one? They could maybe because they've been teams in the past that didn't have troubles and finally won the whole thing. But it's taking mighty long for Arkansas to get it done. It's taking mighty long, man. It's crazy.
I need
But
a I need a quick
what?
answer from you, right quick. A quick answer.
Go ahead.
So Jay Johnson has been there at LSU for 4 years now. He's won 2 championships in the last 3 years. Could we be saying Jay Johnson has the chance to be the Nick Saban of college baseball?
I believe so. I believe so. He's really proven himself to be one of the best coaches in America, and he's really has done an outstanding job with the teams he have coached. And this one, officially, you could say this is his team. This is his team. The first national championship, good team and everything. Some of it, he had some transfers, but you had some that came from the Monera era mixed in. But this, he won that one. Credit to him, but this was a true one for him this time because of the fact that this is all his players.
Okay.
This is everybody. And I really think the consistency will continue. He could become the Nick Saban. Not really Nick Saban in college. Skip Bertman of college baseball. Come on, the Skip Bertman of college baseball, or the Kevin O'Sullivans, or the other great coach Jim Morris, Augie Garrido, those great college baseball coaches. You know what I'm saying? So he could be in that number more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'll tell you, the only other team I know that was cursed like Arkansas, but finally won it one year, and that was Rice.
Yeah.
Rice had some outstanding teams, and they could not win a championship to save their life.
You're
And
right.
1 year, they finally got it done.
All right.
So, yeah,
All right. Well, I need you to get in your house now and get ready.
I'm going to my house
Yeah,
now.
I'm about to call Mr. Guilbeau, and we're gonna be right back. We're gonna take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna have um, a Louisiana sports columnist who's going into the LHSAA Hall of Fame to talk with us when we come back from
Louisiana
break.
Sports Hall of Fame.
It's the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. Why am I saying
Yes.
LHSAA? The dude covers LSU baseball. The Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame. We got the one and only Glenn Guilbeau right here on the Hash It Out Show. Y'all stay right there and go knock on some doors and tell the people to join us. Y'all go ahead. We'll be right back. Are you in need of a new windshield? Leo Autoglass can help. For 20 years, Leo Autoglass have been servicing the New Orleans area with windshield replacement and auto glass repair. Give them a call today, 504-301-8353.
Hey y'all, this is Jen Hale from Fox Sports. You're watching the Hash It Out Show with JB the Sports Guy, VK Jones, and George Peppis.
Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barretto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504-940-7552.
Green Law Firm is a full-service law firm specializing in personal injury, criminal law, successions, and family law. With over 25 years of experience, the Green Law Firm continues to provide efficient, competitive, and effective representation to clients throughout the state of Louisiana and all across the nation. Consultations are free. If you're looking for results, call the Green Law Firm at 504-328-3990. That's 504-328-3990, located at 931 Westwood Drive, Suite B in Marrero, Louisiana. The Green Law Firm.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy with VK Jones. Our next guest, he's a longtime Louisiana sports columnist. He is going into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame this weekend. And he has a book out called Everything Matters in Baseball, a book he wrote about the one and only Skip Bertman. We have the one and only Glenn Guilbeau. Mr. Guilbeau, how you doing?
Good. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Appreciate you joining us, sir. We truly do. My first question: LSU baseball. They just won their 8th national championship, and in my opinion, their pitching was just phenomenal throughout the year. Talk about how important it was for these guys to get these good pitchers in Cade Anderson, Anthony Ianson. You also have Evans and Shores. How important was it for their pitching to be on point to help win this championship?
Yeah, that's what it's all about. In almost all levels of baseball is the pitching. And Cade Anderson is a local kid from Madisonville, and was not that great his freshman year last year. Actually had a 27 ERA in 5 appearances in the SEC. He got pretty good late in the postseason, but that's a credit to Nate Yeskie, LSU's pitching coach. Really developed Cade, and Cade was just virtually unstoppable all season. He only had a couple of little blemishes the whole year, and really came on strong at the end. You know, they needed every out and strikeout when they beat Coastal 1-0 on Saturday. And, you know, he's probably going to be the first pick of the first round on July 13th, and if not the first, he'll probably be second or third.
You speak of Nate Yesby. Talk about his influence on the pitchers for LSU, because he's done a wonderful job, and this is his second year being there. He's been a consistent coach for LSU compared to other pitching coaches who left after 1 year.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was very key. Coach Johnson's first 3 pitching coaches left after 1 year for better jobs, you know, Major League Baseball or what have you. And, you know, a pitching coach or any coach, they really start to make their mark in the second year, and there's a lot of carryover. And I think that was why Cade Anderson and Chase Shores were able to really have good seasons this year. And then Kason Evans is just a freshman. And, you know, Nate is probably the best or one of the best pitching coaches in the country. And you really saw it develop this season as the pitchers got better as the year went on. That's a true mark of coaching. And, you know, there were some struggles early because a lot of the bullpen were walking people all the time. Mm-hmm. And they eventually limited that. And, you know, and Ianson had some rocky starts early on. And by the end of the year, he was a great starter, too. So it was fun to watch how they got better.
We talked about the pitching. This team that we saw this year, it wasn't a gorilla ball team that we've become accustomed to at LSU. How would you describe this team?
Yeah, this was a really balanced, complete team. They had a couple of home run hitters. You know, Jared Jones hit 22 home runs, and they had Daniel Dickinson hit like 13. Ethan Fry hit 13. He had another one. Steve Milam had 11. So they had some guys who could hit home runs, but not like, you know, Tommy White in the 2023 season. And they hit through the lineup. You know, they were one of the nation's they were one of the nation's leaders in doubles, and you know they were, and they never really all went through a slump. So there was always somebody to worry about in the lineup. For a while, Jared Jones carried them, particularly in the World Series. For a while, Ethan Fry carried them. Stephen Milam and Derek Curiel were consistent all year. So just a real consistent offense. Didn't score a lot of runs in a lot of games. I mean, they won 1-0, they won 2-1, they won 4-1, but it blended well with the pitching.
If we go back some years ago, the SEC wasn't talked about a lot about being a dominant conference for baseball. Now you have teams winning left and right in the SEC. Can you speak about the baseball uprise in the SEC?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think they've won 6 in a row and 11 in the last 15. You know, a lot of it is the warm weather states, but you know, it's warm in California, and they used to be a power in that area. But you know, the crowds and the attendance are in the SEC, and a lot of, you know, in the 80s you had some good SEC teams too, but a lot of the SEC schools didn't take baseball seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And after Skip showed that you could make money with baseball, with attendance and concessions and going into postseason, more schools started taking it seriously. So that now they all take it seriously, and they got a bunch of great schools in the SEC. That there's nobody that doesn't take it seriously. So that's why you had so many, at 13 teams get into the postseason, and you've had so many different teams win national championships. You know, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Tennessee, LSU, and you know, Georgia's won one back in the day, and South Carolina's won. It's just a mini major league.
VK, I pass it to you.
Glenn Guilbeau, man, how you doing, man? And you know, welcome to the show, and congratulations. First of all, you know, this is a big feat for you, being inducted to the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate it. It's one of those awards that older people get, you know. so it means I'm getting up there, but it's still an honor.
Very much indeed, very much indeed. Let me ask you a little bit about the Tigers at LSU. How impressed were you with the defense of the LSU Tigers? You look at Braswell, Milam, the outfield. It seems like they've been very consistent all year long, and they have a tendency of making big plays at the right time.
Yeah, that's another thing about, I was talking about how balanced they were. They were really good on defense all year. And the other coach at Coastal Carolina mentioned that a couple of times, particularly in the 1-0 game. And then in the 5-3 win on Sunday, Michael Braswell was making play after play when Coastal was trying to make a run. And Derek Curiel in left is a great fielder. And, you know, Daniel Dickinson is a very good second baseman. Stephen Milam is an excellent shortstop. I mean, he doesn't miss anything. He made some great plays in the 6-5 win over Arkansas. And, you know, it's just a great defense. They were in the top 10 in fielding percentage throughout the season. And that, you know, that helps make the pitchers better.
Gotta ask you this. You've been covering sports for a long time, especially in college baseball. Did you think of the way things were looking with LSU going into the postseason, especially going into the super regionals, that a lot of teams in the top teams were starting to fall left and right and everything? Did you think that things might open up for LSU, that LSU will have an opportunity to have a chance to win a national championship? Because it seems like, to me, a lot of parity continues in college baseball, because not exactly the top teams get there, because you can have one bad night and it's over.
Yeah, well, LSU, you know, they were pretty consistent all season. They started out number one. You know, they lost a couple of series to Texas and Auburn, but they're always hanging around there about number 8, number 9, and they had a huge series win over Arkansas late in the season. That kind of sewed up their NCAA host site, and they got an easy field of teams to play. You know, in the regional, they really didn't play a tough team in the regional, but then they had to beat Arkansas, which was, favored to win the World Series. A lot of Louisiana media picked Arkansas to win the World Series. So LSU was able to get by them. And then they got by a team that was blowing everybody away in Omaha, Coastal Carolina, that had won 26 straight games. So, in the end, LSU was the best team. They beat the best of the best.
Very, very much agreed. I very, very much agree with that, Mr. Guilbeau. Looking at your career and everything, you're originally from New Orleans. Are you originally a Louisiana resident? Because you've been doing this a long, long time, and also you're a University of Missouri graduate. How things kind of landed with that, going through the process, but not just that, sticking to Louisiana.
Yeah, well, I grew up in New Orleans and followed the Saints and sports and everything, and wanted to be a sports writer kind of early. And I found out I was in high school at Rummel, went to Rummel High School in Metairie, that had a great journalism teacher there named Michael Boudreau, and he knew about the University of Missouri. Hold on a second. And so I went to LSU for 1 year and then transferred to Missouri. It was just a great journalism school. There was a lot of practical experience, and was able to get jobs quick, and covered LSU football and then Alabama football and Auburn, and moved around. But it was a great way to get started by going to Missouri.
Wow, and you're right. It's very esteemed journalism school. I had a relative that not too long finished from that school and everything. So it's a very good university, especially on the communication and journalism side. So that's big there. What do you think over the years that you've been covering sports? Do you think your greatest time doing covering sports was covering the LSU Tigers or covering other sports?
Well, really, the best thing I remember covering ever was the Saints Super Bowl in 2009. I got to go to Miami and cover that. I was working for the Gannett papers, and I covered LSU and the Saints at the same time for Gannett, USA Today, Louisiana. And that whole season, their win over the Patriots in New Orleans, and then the win over Brett Favre and the Vikings, right after, just a couple of years after Katrina, and seeing the city come back, all coinciding with the Saints being so great that year, and really for a long time under Sean Payton, and having gone to Saints games when I was a kid and watching them lose for 20 years, that was really something, because, I started going to Saints games when I was 7 in 1968, and they didn't have a winning season until I was 26 in 1987. So just living and dying, and mostly dying, with the Saints as a kid.
You sound like us, Glenn. You sound like us when we were kids. Like Jared is young. As you're 40, Jared?
41.
41.
Yes.
I'm 46. So we understand what you went through yourself. But
you weren't there at Tulane Stadium in the rain.
No, I wasn't.
Watching the team get beat over and over. And but man, it was murder. I never forget the we thought they were going to go to the playoffs in 1983 when Bum Phillips was coaching, and all they had to do was beat the Rams in the last game of the season, and they'd have finished. I think they'd have finished 9-7 if they won that game. And they were winning the game, the whole game. They were dominating the Rams, but Bum played real conservative, and then they lost it on a field goal, man. And people were just dying. I was in the stands. I was still in school, so I wasn't working yet. And there were people just saw it happening. They knew it was going to happen before it happened, and because they have such a bad history.
Yeah.
And that was 1983, and they never got into the playoffs until 2000, and then. Well, no, I'm sorry, they got into the playoffs under Jim Mora in '87 and several more times in the '90s, but then they never won a playoff game until 2000 with Jim Haslett. And I covered that game for the Baton Rouge Advocate, and that was really something else. That's one of my most treasured memories too.
Wow. And I'll tell you, man, you experienced a lot with LSU athletics and stuff like that. Looking at the football national championships, which one do you think was your most memorable that you covered?
I would say the 2003 national championship. I covered that one up close and personal. I was at the Baton Rouge Advocate at the time, and that was their first national championship in football since 1958.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick Saban was the coach, and he turned around the program drastically. And then 2003, they won it all. Only lost one game, and it was just great watching Nick work and how he built that program and how he changed the culture and made everybody think differently about football.
Yeah.
And that's really, even after he left, I mean, that's kind of stayed in the program since he left. And it's really cool that he's also being honored at the Hall of Fame this weekend in Natchitoches, along with me and Herb Vincent, who worked at LSU when Herb was there, when Nick was there as well, and works at the SEC office now. And Herb and I actually worked in the sports information office together at LSU in 1982. If you can imagine that. But, so it's going to be like a reunion up there in Natchitoches.
Awesome.
It's awesome that they're honoring Nick and everything. I still say to this day, the best LSU football coach that has ever coached at LSU, in my opinion. But at the same time, like the best LSU team I have seen, Mr. Glenn. I love that 2003 team. It's a great team. I always said something about that 2019-2020 team. It's like kind of like all-time stuff with that,
Oh, yeah. The 19 team had the greatest offense, obviously, and had a pretty good defense, too. The 03 national champions had the best defense in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just they blew everybody away on defense, and they were pretty good on offense because Matt Monk threw 28 touchdowns that year, and they had Early Doucette, and Skylar Green from New Orleans, and Craig Stelz from Rummel, safety, and LaRon Landry. My God, what safety he was. He was a stud, and just great defensive players on that team. And the late, great Marquise Hill at defensive end. And, of course, Marcus Spears from Baton Rouge. And Michael Michael Clayton was on that team, too. Or was he? No, wait. I don't know.
He was on the
Clayton
team.
was on 03 team. Clayton,
He
yes.
was on the 03 team. Yeah, right, along with Spears. Yeah, that was a great team. And Nick was fun to deal with. He was still he was easy to get interviews with at that time. He kind of went big time at Alabama, and everything got a lot bigger. But when he was at LSU, you could get him almost any time you needed him.
Absolutely. I'm gonna ask you this, Mr. Glenn, and I'm gonna pass it to JB if you got some more questions, especially talking about the book and stuff like that. How things have changed over the years with journalism and everything, and it's amazing that you're still in it with Tiger Rag and everything. But how things have really changed with journalism, period, especially in sports, with the digital stuff and all that and everything. And it seemed like sometimes the opportunities, they're there but not there. What do you think is going on now in this field of journalism?
It's amazing. I mean, really my first 15 years as a sports writer, from 83 to 98, 99, there was really no internet. There was not a lot of that. You had email and so forth, but it was all focused on the newspaper, that you get in your hand in the morning. And I miss those times. That was there was a lot. It was a lot done with a lot more care and patience and good editing to get everything right for that next day's paper. Then everything just got really, really fast, and everything it's more 24/7. You know, you got to work more when everything's 24/7. But the cool thing is, though, it's, you know, you can, story breaks, you find out a couple facts, you get a quote, you do a story in 10 minutes, and it's up on the web, and it's getting a lot of reactions and everything. And one cool thing is, if you make a mistake in a story, you can go back and change it immediately. Nobody ever knows you made a mistake. Whereas back in the day, you know, you make a mistake and you got to live with it all day in the newspaper, and it never goes away. You know, you go find some paper from the 80s or 90s, get the hard copy, and your mistake is still in there. So, but now you can get it fixed and change it. But everything's much faster, and I think we've lost some of the accuracy and care with journalism, because it's all about speed.
Indeed. Mr. Guilbeau, 2 questions and I'll get you out of here. You wrote a book called Everything Matters in Baseball, the Skip Bertman story. Tell us how this book came about.
Well, Skip retired from coaching, and then he became an AD at LSU, and he retired from that, and he decided he wanted a book, and a lot of people close to him thought he should have a book. And he went to a couple of different authors and actually got the book started, and then changed his mind about the first author he got, and he kind of went to me in the bullpen. I was kind of his third choice. I was the closer.
Okay.
Like you know, like Case and Evans.
Yeah.
So, but it was great. I had total access to Skip, you know, and I was writing the book during COVID, so had a lot of time, and people had a lot of time to talk on the phone and stuff, and I was able to get, you know, 20, 24, 25 of Skip's former players for the book, and you know, they talked a lot to me, not because they like me, because they like Skip.
Yeah.
And that just really made the book fun to do, and Skip's got a great memory, and they told me everything I needed, you know, so it was fun to do.
That's awesome. For anyone that wants to obtain a copy of this book, where can they get it from?
Well, it's at that Barnes & Noble right there on Veterans Highway in Metairie.
Okay.
And it's also Amazon.com, and AcadianBooks.com is the publisher in Lafayette. And you can get it online. And it's, like I said, Amazon.com. It's also at Octavia Books in the city there. But it's at just about any Barnes & Noble in Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
Okay. Mr. Glenn Guilbeau, first of all, congratulations on being inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, and also thank you for joining us tonight. We truly, truly appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Yes,
enjoyed
sir.
Enjoyed talking to you. Appreciate it.
Definitely.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
The one and only Glenn Guilbeau, ladies and gentlemen. VK.
Like I gotta go back and listen to the. I had to move my vehicle for a second, but you know, I had to ask that question about how things was changed in the.
Yeah, he just said like things are much faster now. It's much faster. It's 24/7. If you make a mistake, you can go in and correct it right away, and people may not even see it. He said that. He said that, but the accuracy of things from back in the day is what's missing. He said he also missed being outside and somebody giving him the newspaper in his hand. He misses that.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, yeah, the accuracy of it just isn't there anymore. So that's what he said. But fun conversation with the one and only legendary Hall of Famer Glenn Guilbeau, man. That was good. When we come back, we're gonna go over the NBA draft. The Pelicans are up. So we're gonna be right back, right here on the Hash It Out Show.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985 266 0664 and don't forget to ask about their 1 week free special. And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy with VK Jones. The New Orleans Pelicans have selected guard Jeremiah Fears from Oklahoma. You're nodding your head. You must like this pick.
It's not a bad pick. It's really not a bad pick. You know, he was Fears was actually one of the top picks that was going to be in the NBA draft. Anyway, he was talked a lot in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is good for what the Pelicans need more than anything else. Fears brings a lot of he could score.
He's a
can
scoring
score,
point guard. Yes.
point guard, and on top of that, he plays good defense too. So it's a good package.
Not a good pick because DeJounte Murray definitely might not even be playing this year.
I tell you, man, you know, we're gonna see what happens, but I think this is a good start here. I think good move here for Joe Dumars. You know, we had a trade and the Pels had a trade and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, which was interesting, but hopefully they'll use it to get something else or whatever. But you know, it's a good looking pick. I'm surprised that the San Antonio Spurs, you know, I don't know if they drafted who they drafted yet or not. You know, I'm surprised the trade ain't happened, but you still got the rest of the night to find out.
I'm gonna tell you this. So I'm gonna go down the 7 picks right quick. Cooper Flag went first to Dallas. Dylan Harper from Rutgers went to the Spurs. VJ Edgecombe from Baylor went to the 76ers. Con Knuppel from Duke went to Charlotte. Ace Bailey went to Utah. I'm going to talk about Ace Bailey in a second. Trey Johnson from Texas went to the Wizards, and Jeremiah Fears went to the Pelicans. The Brooklyn Nets are up. So Ace Bailey came out and said that he did not want to go to the first 5 teams. He did not want to go. His picks were Washington, New Orleans, and Brooklyn. Well, Utah drafted him. Utah said, forget your options or where you want to go. You coming to Utah. You're coming here, buddy. So, yeah, he came out in his agent said he did not want to go to the top 5 teams in the draft. So that is probably why Dylan Harper from Rutgers went to the Spurs. So, but that's your top 7 picks of the draft. What you think so far about the top 7?
Not
surprising. Yeah.
No, not surprising. I think you know, for Bailey, it's just a fact. You know, you better hope your agent is like Chris Webber's agent or Shaq's agent to try to get a deal or something. But you know, you can't have all your picks and chooses. But we'll see. We'll see what happens if he still stays in Utah or not.
We'll see. We saw Steve Francis back in the day. Mm-hmm. Steve Francis get drafted from the Vancouver Grizzlies, boy, and he walked on stage with that pouting face and never even showed up to Vancouver. They had to trade him to Houston, and Houston had to give up some things to get him. But we'll see what happens, man. Utah saying, nah, man, we want you. We want you. It's one other thing I want to talk about before we get out of here, Mr. VK Jones. We had a retirement last week. The greatest mixed martial arts fighter of all time, John Jones, retired from the UFC. No longer fighting unless he decides to go to the PFL and fights Francis Ngannou. We'll see. But a lot of people giving John Jones a hard time. People sitting there saying he was scared to fight Tom Aspinall. And I'll let you go next, but I'm going to go first. You people really think John Jones was scared to fight anyone? Y'all really believe this? Y'all think John Jones really scared to fight anyone? Now, get me wrong. I think John Jones sat there and said, you know, I really want to fight someone that's worth it. Not saying Aspinall is not, but I think John Jones is looking at, can I get a fight against a big time name that can go out like that? Like he said, what does Tom Aspinall do for me? If Francis Ngannou was there, I think that's even bigger. Tom Aspinall is a star in the making, without a doubt. Don't get me wrong. But I think John was looking at like big time name. Let me go out how I want to go out. That's just it. Now, he did get offered the amount of money he wanted, agreed at first, and then I'm not fighting. And I don't think John Jones is scared of Tom Aspinall. And I don't think John Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall. I really don't. I think John Jones looked at it differently. Like I said, probably one of the big name fighter. And that's just it. It is what it is. Some people will sit here and say, yeah, he ducked Aspinall. And I'm gonna disagree totally. Because y'all telling me John Jones scared of people. People, please, let's just stop it. Pump the brakes, put it in reverse, and back up some. John Jones ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared of nobody, and I ain't scared of John Jones either. But I know I go in that cage, he gonna know he was in a fight. It might be 20 seconds.
At least you're honest.
For 20 seconds.
You're honest.
That's his world.
You're honest. You're very,
That's
very
his world.
honest. It is. And I just feel, to me, dude, I think it's these new generation freaking UFC fans that's saying that about Aspinall. Who is Tom Aspinall? That's all I want to know. Who?
He's the future of heavyweight division. He is.
Is
he
he going to be consistent? I just want to see consistency.
We're going to see. Yeah, that's a question. That's a question to be answered. Correct.
But to me, it's just the fact of the matter is, talking about ducking. Let me tell y'all something right now. John Jones is the freaking GOAT. He is the greatest UFC fighter of all time. Of all time. So there's no debate on it. And he wanted to just go out on top. You know what I'm saying? Like man, he thought about it. But then all of a sudden nah, I ain't gonna risk that. You know, you gotta respect the man on his decision. Respect what he does. Dude, look at the fighters he have. To me, the standard of UFC.
Oh, thank you, Austin. 35. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Seconds. but see, the standard long time ago in the UFC was Anderson Spider Silva.
Yes.
That was the standard long time ago.
And that was considered the GOAT then.
He was the GOAT then.
Yes.
Until John Jones started emerging, especially when he started winning titles and started beating some people, including in super fights. This dude is amazing of what he has done over his career. Look at all I'm going to tell you to those fans, look at the opponents that he has beaten. He has beaten the dude. He has beaten everybody from Rampage Jackson, Rashad Evans, from all names he even beat
Lyoto
Machida. He even beat
Vitor Belfort,
the first ever 2-division champion. He beat him.
Who?
Cormier.
Cormier wasn't the first 2-division champion. He wasn't the first one, but he's one of them.
He's not the first?
No.
So you saying
he ain't the first, he ain't the second.
Who was the first division, the first 2-division champion?
Because I want to say Conor McGregor's top 3.
Who was the first UFC 2-division champ? Randy Couture.
Courier. Yep.
Randy Couture.
Yep.
And then it was Conor McGregor. And then it was Cormier. So, you know, regardless of the fact being one of the best fighters ever, at the same time. Huh?
No, I think there's a couple more before Cormier.
Really?
I think so.
How many 2-division titles in the UFC? How many 2-division?
I'm trying to find the order for you all, everybody.
Oh, there were 9.
There's 9 total.
9 fighters.
There's 9 total.
That has won simultaneous titles. Then the 9 are Randy Couture, BJ Penn, Conor McGregor.
There you go.
Randy Cormier, Amanda Nunes, Henry Cejudo,
Cejudo.
George St. Pierre.
Yeah.
Now, actually, Henry Cejudo did it
Cejudo.
twice.
Cejudo.
Cejudo.
Yeah.
Cejudo. I'm sorry. You got it correct. Cejudo. He's actually done it twice.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And Alex Pereira. So those are
Alex Guerrero and John Jones were the last two.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So for John Jones to beat a 2 division champ and beating the great names that is on his list, give that man his respect. Put some respect on John Jones' name and leave it alone. Cause y'all, what y'all fans are acting. You know what y'all starting to act like? Y'all starting to sound like the boy your boy that's on the bottom of the totem pole, of the diplomats, Jim Jones. That's who you sound like right now. The freaking blasphemy we're hearing from you fans. Stop with the blasphemy, please. I don't appreciate that one bit. This is a public service. This is a public service announcement from VK Jones and the Hash It Out Show.
Yes, indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, and we can't forget. We forgetting something, man. We can't forget about the NBA champions.
Oh, you
The
right,
O-
dog. You
the O-
right, dog.
the,
Yeah.
the OKC Thunder
Yeah. You are
wins
right.
Game 7,
Yeah.
and it was a pretty interesting Game 7 until the last couple minutes of the fourth quarter. But man, I felt really bad for Tyrese Halliburton. He had a
Everybody did. Yep.
great start to the ball game. It was just too bad that he got himself hurt. And I hate to say it, was the difference in the ball game. Indiana stayed fighting.
Oh, they
They
fought.
stayed
They
fighting, but
fought.
then
Yes,
all of a
sir.
sudden they just ran out of gas in
Ran
the
out.
last 6 minutes.
Yep. Ran out.
What else you can do? But for OKC, I mean, what a run. What a run for SGA and company. And you look at SGA and Jalen Williams. I mean, can you believe they are the second best scoring tandem ever in the finals? They passed Pippen and Jordan, and they're second behind LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. That's
Jordan had to carry
unbelievable.
Pippen, so I ain't shocked.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. Jordan carried Pippen, but at the same time, Pippen was right there having his back, man. I mean, sometimes you gotta have that second guy. You know what I'm saying? And
I
then
understand.
that
Jordan still carried
would
him. I understand. That's cool.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, I didn't say you were.
Oh yeah. Pippen is probably one of the best number 2 tandems you'll probably ever have to play the game. You know, it's amazing of what he did to help Jordan get those titles. You know, but Jalen Williams, and people said it all over. He needed to step up another notch. They do that, they'll take some pressure right off SGA, and he did. He did.
Really
Amazing
did.
work from him. Chet Holmgren, not bad of a finals. I mean, and Pascal Siakam had a great finals, man. Great playoffs. I mean, he really solidified himself in a nice career for him. I mean, you know, this close of winning the title, and not just that, being the number 2 guy, not just that, the number 1. He would have won the Finals MVP. So, I mean, he really has grown his game so much. But OKC, and it's amazing how the work Sam Presti has done. The criticism he has taken over the years. Stephen A., you look stupid because I'm sorry, you really look stupid because Sam Presti really proved himself.
Stephen A. That's him talking. I ain't saying nothing. You know, I love you.
See Presti, and it's amazing. You look at the team, the top 8 of the 12 player rotation of the OKC Thunder, out of the 8, 5 were second round picks.
Yeah.
And 3 were undrafted. So for OKC, and still got first round picks.
Still.
Because of Paul George.
Still. Got so many first round picks, man. It's crazy.
And you would think that OKC wouldn't get back. It took a while, it took a minute. But when they finally found that combination, you thought it was going to take some time. They were so consistent this year. You thought, can they make steps? Can they continue? And they went beyond their steps more sooner than they did. So that is huge for OKC. It could have been Kevin Durant sooner or later, but now Kevin Durant's in Houston. I'm like this. It's just not been easy for Kevin Durant to find a winning situation. Because to me, I think he sold his soul to the devil. Because come on, man. You had Golden State on the ropes. You choke it up. And then you go to Golden State next year? When that happened, you can't say nothing to LeBron James. You can't say nothing. Because that man said, hey, I'm going to join, make it a soup. Like, nothing wrong with super
wait.
teams.
What you mean you can't say nothing to LeBron James?
You
Didn't
can't
LeBron
say-
James go to Miami with Boston Wade?
Because
Or you saying because I know so
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying now.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna go where you went, like you can't say nothing to LeBron James, but I couldn't be that person where this dude just eliminated me and I go join them the next season. I couldn't do that either. I couldn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The thing with LeBron is different. With what the thing about it, they talk, Bosh, Jordan, with Jordan and LeBron. You look at the supporting cast combined of Miami, Toronto, and Cleveland. They would have no chance to win no title. So they had no choice but to come together. So that's a difference.
Man, you saying that because of Boston? You saying that because of Boston? That's why? Because Boston traded to get Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett. It was a trade. It wasn't a choice of theirs. It was a trade.
But here's the thing about that: Kevin Garnett deserved that opportunity after the long suffering he went through in Minnesota.
Ray Allen
deserved that.
Ray Allen didn't deserve it either.
Ray Allen deserved it too.
Okay.
I'm not saying he doesn't, but the main cog is Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce right now is probably the second best Celtic ever, because you think he was part of the rebuilding, the death and resurrection of the Celtics. I have never seen an NBA player went through all three phases. Never. You ever seen that with Jordan? You ever seen that with Magic Johnson? You ain't seen that with not too many teams, not too many players. Like talk about it. For Paul Pierce to just stay the course, for him to be a part of a rebuilding that got to the playoffs consistently, even got to an Eastern Conference championship. But then all of a sudden, the fall of the Celtics, how low that they went. And then all of a sudden, Danny Ainge finally making a deal to save his job, to get them together and for them to win a title and make a run back to the finals years later.
Well,
so that's one
we
thing
can say these days now, the super team might be over with.
I agree.
Might be over with.
It's done, especially what we see.
We're looking at what Cleveland Cavaliers and OKC, and here we got Indianapolis. That's really not a super team. That's just a great overall group of players together that play well together in good depth. So the super team might be over with, man. I wouldn't mind.
Well, I'm gonna say this: if San Antonio makes the move that I'm thinking they're gonna make, this might be your last run of the super team. This is your last run.
They don't have a super team.
If they get Giannis, there it is. This is gonna be your last time you'll see a super team when San Antonio gets Giannis.
Philadelphia got Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey.
They don't count. They don't count. They have not made it to
LeBron and Luka? What about Anthony Davis, Kyrie, and Cooper Flag now?
I'm gonna say this: Dallas does have a chance with Flag with an addition. They do have a shot. You look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia has not made a conference final since Iverson. Philly, the window's closed. It's wide open in the East. Boston's window is starting to close, especially with the trades. It's starting to close.
No Tatum next year.
Exactly.
It ain't happening.
The window is instantly closing for Boston. The East is wide open. If the Knicks make an interesting move, maybe they'll be right there, but they haven't got their coach. It looks bad.
They ain't got a coach at all.
It looks bad. I thought it would be Mike Malone, and they have not pulled that trigger and have not called him. What are you thinking? And to me, it's not even on Leon Rose. That's James Dolan. His hand is all over this thing. Steven ain't trying to blame it on Leon. No, it's not. That's your boy. And I kept telling people the Knicks is better off when James Dolan sells the Knicks. Sell the Knicks because you don't care. He probably not. But at the same time, you keep getting yourself in the way. Why you think the Dallas Cowboys ain't been to a conference championship since the early 90s? You got your owner in the freaking way.
Oh man. Yes, indeed.
Just saying, look at the Washington football team. Look how better off without Dan Snyder. Look at the Clippers. They have not got, but still.
The Clippers. Wait a minute now. The most overachieving team in the past years. Come on now. I'm gonna say this. We going back to Chris Paul and Doc Rivers there, and then they got Kawhi and all these players now, man. And they still can't get far. Come on, bro.
I'm like this. They've been more consistent getting
underachievers. I'm sorry, underachievers.
Yeah, underachievers, but they've been getting in postseason more than anything else than before. Before then,
they were getting postseason with Elton Brand and then Baron Davis. They have been there. They can't get nowhere.
Well, I'm talking about before Elton Brand. We talking about when the Clippers.
They weren't even making the playoffs then, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That was the Donald Sterling era. After the Donald Sterling era, things started to make more progress. So one of these days, the Clippers are going to get there. But it's just amazing that they're cursed. But it's just a fact that, hey, teams are better off.
Clippers to the goddamn COVID year. And it didn't even happen.
I agree.
They didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be there.
That
was the year for the Clippers, the COVID year. They didn't want to be there, bro.
One of these years, the Clippers is going to find a way to try to get there, bro. Steve Ballmer is doing so much to get this franchise in a better state. And he's doing everything possible. The new arena looks great and everything. I love what he's doing with the Clippers and making them relevant. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that he just got to get a good formula together that it can finally get to a conference finals and maybe a chance to win a championship. Maybe to get one. I'm hoping the Clippers get one before the Lakers ever get another. I just hope the Clippers get one before the Lakers ever get another one.
I like to see it. I don't know if it would happen. We'll see, but I would like to see it. I would like the Clippers to get one. Clippers don't even share the arena with them no more. Like you say, got their own arena. They got their own arena. I would like to see it happen, bro.
And I have to applaud Steve Ballmer for that.
He did it.
He said, man, we are not about to be in the way of the Lakers no more. You can have it. We're going to get our own.
Period. They went no way, period.
You know, they got their own arena. And then you look at USC, they got their own arena. So big ups, man. Big ups, bro. You know what I'm saying?
USC got their own arena, or they pay to lease out the Coliseum?
No, they bought that place. They bought it and made it their own. Look it up.
USC bought the Coliseum.
Yes, they bought it and they rebuilt it.
They rebuilt it.
They put it. You know what I'm saying? They put
them press boxes.
Yeah, they put their little spin on it. You know what I'm saying? They bought the property. They bought the property. USC said we want our own. We know the Clippers are playing.
Right. They didn't buy it. They didn't buy it. I'm about to read it out. They didn't buy it. It's jointly owned by the state, county, and the city of LA. USC manages and operates the stadium under a long-term lease. Like I said.
But still, that's still there.
The lease goes to 2111.
But it's still theirs. They're the only one that play there.
Yeah, they play there.
That's their
but here's the most important piece right here.
Okay.
So with them having that lease through 2111, that gives USC significant control over the Coliseum, including its operations and financial obligations. So they don't own it, but they have control over it. Now, UCLA also lease and rents the Rose Bowl.
So that it's the Coliseum, but I'm talking about the basketball arena for the USC Trojans, not the football. I was talking about the basketball arena.
They got their own, they got their own arena, right?
Yeah, exactly. They got
Yeah,
their own
yeah.
arena.
Both of them do.
You know they used to play in the Clippers arena.
Uh-huh.
Well, they finally got their own. I think that's what I'm saying. I think they bought that property or just built it on it. They did one or two because I know they bought a property that was like not too far from where the Clippers used to play. So they pretty much redid everything to the thing. You know,
Austin, we got to go check it out. Austin, to check it out.
Yeah,
But
check it out.
ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna end there tonight. Thank y'all for joining us. Go tell all your family members. I mean, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your uncles, and your aunties. Go tell them all. Tell them to subscribe to the JB the Sports Guy YouTube page. Is where you can catch the Hash It Out show. Tell them to like it. Tell them to share it. Tell everybody that you know. Go knock on people's doors. Have them come out and you tell them that also. Before we get out of here, we start Legends Month next week. We're back Tuesday and Wednesday, and we starting off with a banger. And when I say a banger, we start off with a banger. Legends Month, July 1st. We got a 3-time state champion quarterback. Now, some of y'all gonna say it's 2, but y'all know me. When you win it on the field, I'm gonna give it to you. A 3-time state champion quarterback joining us from 2005 to 2007. He was the quarterback for the Bastrop Rams. He went on to play college ball at, I believe, Blinn Community College first, where he beat Cam Newton for the national championship. And
actually, they might have played together because remember, Cam went to Blinn.
Well, then if Cam went to Blinn, he went to the other one because he beat Cam. I know this, but I'll double check. And if I'm wrong, I'll be like, yo, VK was right. But anyway, then went on to Ole Miss to play his college ball. The one and only Randall Mackey.
Ooh. East Mississippi.
Okay, East Mississippi.
East Mississippi.
There you go. All right, cool. I was wrong. Sorry, people. We got Randall Mackey. Now, Wednesday night, we have a legend. He's not joining us, and God rest his soul, but he is a legend in this state. We will be talking about the memory of Ed Daniels, and joining us will be one and only Richie Mills of WGNO ABC 26 News to talk about Ed Daniels on Wednesday, July 2nd. So we starting off Legends Month with the bang. And before I let VK come in here, I just want to check one more thing. Yeah, that's it for right now.
Yeah, we will celebrate the life and
Yes.
times of Ed Daniels coming up next Wednesday. We will also have a potential another special guest to talk about the life and times of Ed Daniels.
That's
We're
right.
working on that potentially. Should we tell them or just wait till
Let's
let's
wait.
wait till let's wait. If we get him, we will let you know who it is.
That's right. Definitely will.
Very, very special. And we particularly want to have him on to talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be an interesting night. If we get him, it's gonna be a great Wednesday night.
Definitely. That being said, July 8th and 9th is in the works. It's in the works. And right now, one of them is a college team. I'm not gonna say who this college team is, but we'll let that be. But that's pretty much gonna happen. So, but we got a couple other guests later on in the month that's already booked. So Legends Month's looking real good. Like I said, July 1st, Randall Mackey, July 2nd, talk about memories and celebrating the life of Ed Daniels. So VK, any last words before we get out of here?
Oh man, very good show tonight. You know what I'm saying? We're done with the summer months. We're no, but I said the summer schedule a little bit. We're about to get. It's still on summer schedule, but
We
now
in
we're about
summer
to be back.
still.
We're still in summer, but you know how some people say summer schedule. We don't do too many shows, but Legends Month we do a lot of shows. So we're about to get back in full effect starting next week and everything. All business people or people who have businesses or know people that got businesses, we
Oh,
still
you
need
just
your
want to
help.
be, you just want to donate.
Don't want to donate, be a part of the Hash It Out Show Game of the Week. Go to our Facebook, go to all our social medias. We have our sponsorship packages that starts at $150. Starts at $150. So we got 5 different packages, including two packages that are 2 for 1. 2 for 1, meaning football and basketball that we're streaming this year. So we got a 2 for 1 package in 2 packages. We have a total of 5. So take a look at them, check it out, inbox us, let us know if you're interested or if you want to drop a donation or whatever. We definitely appreciate it. We need everything. We need your support for what
We're
we're
asking
about
for
to
your
undertake.
support. We're
We're
asking
asking
for
for
your
your
support.
we're asking for. I'm sorry, sir. Master manners. Sorry, sir. Uh yeah, I call him that because of the fact that he's a karate master. But this fool right here, oh my god, he will check you because of the fact that you did not say that statement right, or you did not ask that question the right way. So I don't know. He talking about he's the best in math. I'm more better on the English side than anything else. You know what I'm saying? So that's why my
Oh,
journalism
he want to go
skills
there.
are.
He want to go there.
Just saying, bro.
I
You
mean,
you, you mess with me
have
on
I helped
numbers.
you on your English stuff when you didn't type them and everything? Have I? Have I?
Hey, remember I got better with it, man. You was like, oh, everything good, man. You know what I'm saying? You helped me a couple times, but remember I got better with
That's
it.
it. All right. Yes.
I got
Yes.
better. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
so
You
see,
good?
I'm the man on the English
Uh-huh.
journalism side. You the
Yeah.
man
I mean, I
on the
just helped him
numbers.
like 2 weeks ago on something.
This dude, yeah, dog. You trying to throw shade. You something else. We know
Did
you.
I? Did I? Did
All
I?
I'm gonna tell you, this the mad guy. I'm the English guy. So that's just all it is. That's all it is.
Oh man, all good.
And what's his name? We know he's gonna be like, well, we don't like whatever. But regardless of the fact, all y'all people who want to be a part, we're asking for your support. Come out, help us out. We're ready to get it going. We start in the fall, and we're going all the way to the end of the basketball season in the quarterfinals.
That's right.
So we're gonna get it going. Be a part of the Hash It Out Show Game of the Week, and we're looking forward to getting started with Legends Month.
That's this month, baby. That's right. For VK Jones, I am JB, the sports guy. We'll see y'all next Tuesday, right here on the Hash It Out Show. Y'all take care.
Feeling drained from the constant noise in your daily life? Immerse yourself in pure audio bliss with drums. Experience a world of crystal clear sound, free from distractions. Discover the ultimate relaxation and escape into an oasis of serenity. Grab yours today. drumsworld.com.
If you're looking for the best pizza in Metro New Orleans, then you're in the right place. Moe's Pizza has a great selection of Italian food that can satisfy your appetite, and they can also cater to your needs in any event. Give them a call at 504-341-9650 or log on to www.moespizzanola.com, located at 1112 Avenue H in West Wego, Louisiana. Moe's Pizza, Italians do it better.
All right, folks, as we kick off tonight's football game, let's take a moment to talk about something just as important as a winning playbook: your financial future. Kaylin Parker, a financial advisor with Magnolia Wealth Strategies, is here to help you stay financially fit off the field. From retirement and estate planning to investment management and even insurance needs, Kaylin Parker is here to help you. Reach out to Kaylin at 504-613-2161 or at cparker@financialguide.com.
Hi, I'm Erica Randolph, head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team, and you are watching the Hash It Out Show.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out Show. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Thank you.